नमस्ते दोस्तों, कैसे हैं आप लोग? आई होप वेल एंड गुड बिकॉज़ यू नो व्हाट, दैट इज़ द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग दैट मैटर्स। आज ये वाले एपिसोड के लिए आई एम क्वाइट एक्साइटेड, यू नो व्हाई? बिकॉज़ आई हैव अ न्यू गेस्ट टुडे ऑन माय चैनल एंड दैट इज़ धेनुका एंड शी इज़ गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट रियल मैड्रिड हियर बिकॉज़ वो बहुत बड़ी रियल मैड्रिड की फैन है। तो आज मज़ा आएगा उनके साथ रियल मैड्रिड के बारे में बात करने के लिए एंड पीएसजी को रिप्रेजेंट या फिर सपोर्ट करने के लिए, उनके बारे में बात करने के लिए आई हैव टॉक फुटबॉल एचडी से ज़ीशान. I'm telling you beforehand that this is going to be really, really, really fun. Let's just get into the video and talk about Real Madrid versus PSG.
Yeah.
Let's start, shall we?
Yeah. Definitely.
We are going to start with the segment one right now, rapid fire. So just you know who Dhenuka is and you know उसके बारे में थोड़ा पता चलेगा and you'll have more fun to talk about आगे जितना भी होने वाला है. बाकी Zeeshan is also going to be in the rapid fire, so it's going to be fun. Dhenuka,
I hate
want to
rapid
start
fire.
with you.
I'm horrible.
We are starting with Dhenuka right now. Dhenuka, are you ready? Come on.
No, but go.
All right. So your first question is: in the previous match, Real Madrid versus PSG, Real Madrid had 3 shots and 0 on target. So the performance was really horrible. So if you can describe that in one word.
Dismal.
All right, I understand. Second is: who will be missed more? Is it Mendy at the back or Casemiro in the midfield?
Mendy at the back.
All right. So third question is: if you could get one ex-player back, who would it be? Ronaldo, Ramos, or Varane?
Ronaldo.
Obviously, this had to be Ronaldo. Next question is your favorite Real Madrid player in the present squad as well as your all-time favorite.
Um, it's a tie. Okay, let's say Luka Modric in the current one,
Okay.
and all time is Raul Gonzalez.
All right. The next question is if Real Madrid cannot get the desired result, do you think that it'll be the end for Carlo Ancelotti?
I think it's going to be the end despite what, but because I always saw him as a stopgap measure. But yeah, I think it will be the end.
Arrange these C's from highest to lowest. So the C's are Carvajal, Camavinga, Courtois, and Casemiro. So who do you think is more important for the squad, not just for the game, but for the squad? So,
Based on current form, I would say Courtois, number one, like no doubt about it. Then I would say Casemiro, Camavinga, Carval.
come on.
Actually,
All right.
no,
The
I'll
last,
switch. Sorry,
yeah,
but yeah,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
never
yeah.
mind.
Come on. Go. No.
No,
Just
I was gonna switch
go ahead.
Carvajal's place, but the reason for that only is because we don't have anyone else. That is it.
Yeah.
True.
All right. So the last question is: who is the clear favorite to win the Champions League this season?
There's no clear favorite. I don't think so. Earlier, I would have said I would have said City or Liverpool to be honest, but I don't think there's a clear favorite now because all teams like so much has changed since I think even the
Yeah.
first leg and the second. So no
Barca.
clear favorites now.
All right. So the team that is not even in the Champions League is the clear favorite, Zishan. I'm so sorry for that, but it's okay. But
Ouch!
that was a
I
good
didn't say
rapid
that.
fire that you. That was a really good rapid fire for the beginners. So thank you so much for that. Let's move on to Zishan again, shall we?
Yes, please.
Come on,
Let's get
Z.
over
Yes.
Come
with.
on, Z.
Yeah.
All right. So your first question is that you have to rank these players from low to high according to the goal scoring threat that they can provide for PSG. Now that Mbappe is not there, but just consider that Mbappe is there. So the players are Mbappe, Messi, Di Maria, and Neymar.
Lowest to highest, like the
Yeah.
least goal threat player at the bottom. Okay. Mbappe, Di Maria, Messi, and Neymar.
Neymar. Yeah.
Yeah, lowest goal threats. Di Maria,
Hmm.
Neymar, Messi, Mbappe.
If you had to choose between these, better centre back pairing is David Alaba and Militao or Kimpembe and Marquinhos.
Militao and Alaba. Come on. Any day.
All right. The third question is since we know that Ashraf Hakimi has a history with Real Madrid, so do you think that Carval is better and more suited for Real Madrid than Ashraf Hakimi could have been?
Given the more, acha, yeah, rapid fire round, hai na? I can
Yeah,
explain like just those sentences.
you
Mein.
can, obviously.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
thank you so much.
this warrants explanation.
Yeah. Anyways, hey, when you look at Carvajal and Ashraf Hakimi is the modern right back that a team wants to have in the team right now. He's the best suited right back any team can have, an attacking team that utilizes the full back system. He would also have been very good for Real Madrid, but then there were stories about him not being over there, like some dressing room problem. But yes, Carvajal is an underrated bowler, one of the best right backs to have played this game. So yeah, sure, right. He would have been there, but nahi, they are doing fine with Carvajal.
All right. So the next question is the given PSG squad, like what are the squad you have? But if there could be one manager around the world, anybody to
Huh.
manage this star-studded squad, who can win the match against Real Madrid, who would it be?
Acha, just this game to
Just
manage
for this
PSG,
game.
just for this
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Yeah, Luis Enrique.
Oh,
All right. All right. The next question is out of all the signings PSG made, which one did not make any sense to you at all?
I'll have to say Gini Wijnaldum. But then I knew understood कि why did they sign him. But उसके बाद से वो खेला ही कितना, so like खेला ही
Hmm.
कितना और कैसे खेला, तो that made me think and क्यों खरीदा, and yeah, Gini for me right now. Otherwise
All
all the
right.
other players have performed apart from
Hmm.
Ramos because he was absent for most of the times.
All right. The next question is from 1 to 4. You have to arrange these clubs from the ones that you have the most, soft spot for that club till the least one. So the clubs are AC Milan, Inter Milan, Manchester United, and Manchester City.
Oh, okay, that is going to be easy. Inter Milan, AC Milan, Manchester United, and City. Manchester United and City,
Manchester
right?
City.
Let's keep
Yeah.
Arsenal. Let's keep Arsenal at the top. ठीक है. Arsenal नहीं, Arsenal तो था ही नहीं लिस्ट में.
नहीं
आर्सेनल लिस्ट
हाँ
में नहीं था लेकिन आर्सेनल इज फोर्थ.
Okay, I thought Arsenal has to be there because I have said multiple times कि Premier League में मेरा एक soft corner है Arsenal को, but चलो ठीक है नहीं था. But then let's say कि if there were a zero spot, I'll add Arsenal over there. उसके पहले -1 पे बारसा को रख दूंगा. But चलो let's go on from number 1. पहले AC Milan, then City, then United, then Inter. Like सबसे सबसे ज़्यादा
सबसे
soft
फेवरेट
spot
या
for AC
ऑल
Milan.
राइट
ठीक है.
ओके
Then what did I choose?
सिटी
Okay, City. Yeah,
सिटी.
City. Then United and fourth painter. Yeah,
my last question to you is that
yeah.
the same question that I asked Dhenuka, that which is that clear favorite club that you think is going to win the Champions League this season, if there is any.
I'll have to go by the answer of Dhenuka because, like she said, ki there is no clear favorite. You cannot pick one team in the world football right now who can go out and win this tournament because this is very,
Hmm.
very close. You saw in the beginning ki Bayern Munich were up for it as well, but you have seen them sunk low right now. They're not playing at that level. They've got their issues. But you look at Manchester City and you see even Liverpool being there with them. But then there's always a factor of Chelsea creeping their way into it. Madrid can't be ignored. Yes, if they'll win against PSG, which they will, I'm so sorry I'm giving out my prediction over here, but I believe that they're going to win this game. Um, so they will also have a fair competition. I don't know what to write off Ajax, but then again, मुझे देखना है कि Ajax आगे round में कैसे खेलेगी. So yeah, I have no particular choice, and I believe it would be very close between some English club जीत सकता है, काफी ज़्यादा favorable है.
All right, so that is it. Segment one is done, and I think you both did great. So guys, don't forget to comment below what you think कि किसने ज़्यादा better किया, and we can give some brownie points to Dhenuka because this is her first time, so it's okay, इतना बनता है. Let's move on to our segment two. तो सेगमेंट टू में सबसे पहले हम एकदम एक प्रिव्यू करने वाले हैं अभी मैच के बारे में. सो व्हाट आई वांट टू आस्क यू धेनुका इज, आर देयर एनी इंजरी कंसर्न्स? वी नो अबाउट द सस्पेंशन, बट आर देयर एनी अदर इंजरी कंसर्न्स दैट देयर आर?
Well, Cruz is not 100% fit, and I doubt if he'll be starting tomorrow. But based on Carlo and his ways, he will. Even when a coach goes on to say that even if is not 100% fit, it's like, fine until the player tells me that I'm good. You can, I don't get it. But same thing happened with Benzema, right? When he was not 100% fit, and you can see it in the performance on the pitch. That's the worst part. So I think Kroos, there's concern about the injury, and who else? I think everyone else's. Alaba seemed okay. Before this, Alaba was there were reports of Alaba's injury, but in the match we played against Sociedad in La Liga, we he seemed fine. So no injury concerns for now. The two suspensions are, of course, it's going to be really. Uh, it's very tricky because when the back functions as a unit like that, it puts less pressure on the midfield, and so the midfield can go and play. We can play a natural game. With Mendy out, it's a huge blow actually, because what happens is Alaba has to change his game. Everyone, Militao, everybody has to now focus on that, and Valverde. was not injured, but he was ill apparently. So that's why I didn't include Valverde in the injury concerns.
Hmm.
He had like some stomach bug or something. So, but yeah, I'm very excited purely because of the match we played over the weekend.
Hmm.
My optimism level has gone up, and because before that I was all the theories, we can have all sorts of theories and they just go out of the window on match day, because
Hmm.
PSG, if you see, was not even playing well in the league before that first leg even. So
Hmm.
I was fairly confident that our back will be able to handle. We always knew that they were going to kill us with the pace, because you have Hakimi, you have
Hmm.
Mbappe. They are really quick, they are super quick, and the fact that Carlo just chose not to start Valverde on that day. Did not give Camavinga, like the quick legs in the team didn't get an outing that day, and he persisted with Asensio, who doesn't really contribute in that way to the team. So all these preconceived notions that we have on that day, it can just go out of the window. So I'm not going to comment on that. But coming back to your question, injury wise, Kroos is the only concern. But because of the match that we had,
Hmm.
I won't be too sore about them about starting Camavinga, Valverde, Cruz, sorry, Modric in the midfield. So
Hmm.
I think that would work as well. So
Yeah,
yeah,
no, that is true. Not having Casemiro, then ऊपर से Mendy का भी suspension है. That's quite scary when it comes to a match like this, which you absolutely have to win. And
yep.
अच्छा चीज़ ये है कि home ground में match है, so थोड़ा advantage वहाँ से मिलेगा home crowd से when there are fans cheering there. तो and ऊपर से experience बहुत है Real Madrid को, so that will I think work here as well. But that brings me to my question to you Z as well, that अभी सुनने में आया है Mbappe का injury यार. What do you think? कोई exactly कोई और injury concern है क्या? Is it do you think that there is
Yeah,
anybody else?
injury concerns to Leandro Paredes. This is a guy जो concerns देता है. Ander Herrera का मुझे fitness नहीं पता. पिछले कुछ matches में he hasn't played. I hope Gini Wijnaldum gets injured. That's a bad thing to say. I take
Oh
that back.
To a
I take that
Liverpool
back. But
fan, that too.
I'm so sorry. But she won't miss Ginny. Do you miss Ginny, Nitika? You don't
I
miss. You
do.
have Thiago.
There
Come on.
there was a time. No, no, no. There was a time. When in our midfield there were nobody available. There were no
Yeah.
Thiago, no Keita, no Javi Elliott, no Curtis
Tyler
Jones, and I was
Morton
thinking
and
who's going to play.
huh.
Exactly. Tyler Morton had to start for that match. I'm happy with Tyler Morton. What he's getting. This is not about Liverpool.
ठीक
We'll
है.
talk about this later.
You see her rush into that conversation. That's बहुत
Let's
सही.
not talk about that. Yeah.
Switch. Okay, ठीक है. Okay, you want me to continue with that? ठीक है.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ginny is fine. Okay, fine. He's fit and fine. Sorry, I take that back. वो गलत चीज़ है कहना. That was for joke. Apart from them, I don't think. Yeah, Ramos obviously. Baki, yeah, Messi is fit. Mbappe is a big miss, यार. He's not going to be
Hmm.
there, तो बहुत बड़ा problem होगा.
Are we sure
Hmm.
on that though?
Yeah, we are sure. Like 48 hours just before the game, Kylian Mbappe has some
Hmm.
problem in the injury. He was injured, and that has been reported by काफी like big pages and
Okay.
sources.
Hmm.
So it's kind of believable.
Oh, he
अब ये भी
already had an injury.
yeah,
Oh, I didn't know.
नहीं, he just suffered today. इससे पहले इंजरी भी
Today,
नहीं है.
Training
He
right?
was
in
fit.
the
Yeah,
training.
in
Yeah, in the
training.
training. Yeah.
Kimpembe ka, I'm not
Kimpembe. Yeah.
sure about Kimpembe. I don't know why he was left out in that last game. सच में I'm clueless about Kimpembe, but जहाँ तक मुझे लगता है कि अभी तक
He
कोई ऐसी
wasn't.
buzz और कोई ऐसी news नहीं आई है.
Yeah.
He was on the bench, I guess. तो
Yeah.
I think that was a strategic move to play Diallo in place of him. तो हो सकता है कि he will play. जहाँ तक है वो उसको rest ही दे रहा होगा.
Huh,
Apart
I
from
thought he
them,
was
I
being
don't.
rested.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So
Hmm.
Donna is gonna start. Navas is fit. Donnarumma is fit. Yes, so that's it.
My next question to you is Dhenuka, that Ancelotti, like you mentioned right now, that you had a really good week. If we are considering match wise, तो वो काफी सही रहा है. And even कि
Right.
जब से पीएसजी से हारे हैं उसके बाद से तीनों मैचेस जीते हैं, एंड पीएसजी का थोड़ा इनकंसिस्टेंसी रहा है उस वे में. तो व्हाट डू यू थिंक कि जो अभी एंचेलोटी ने रोड्रिगो, कामाविंगा, वेलवर्डी को शुरू करवाया, एंड देयर हैव बीन अ चेंज ऑफ टैक्टिक्स एज वेल. Do you think that that is going to be different this time in the match than what we saw in the previous leg?
मेरे ख्याल से he didn't have an option. अभी तो he has to start. He doesn't have options, right? He has to change his
Hmm.
tactics.
Hmm.
So what was worrying for me that day was he got the tactics absolutely like completely wrong, 100%. And this whole thing about, so we played this way, in a similar way. I think we've played in La Liga also, and also we've played. I think, according to me, this is how we also played against Barca in the Super Copa. I think it was the
Yeah.
last Clasico that we had, and it didn't work then. Also, we scored an extra time, but it didn't work on that day. So I don't understand what this obsession is. Why we don't play our natural game? It does not seem to work, and clearly it was not working because. Um, they PSG had a lot of misses. Let's put it that way. We were lucky to get
Hmm.
away with
Mm.
1-0, but so many shots on target, so many misses from Mbappe even. We were
Messi
just really lucky.
penalty, Courtois
Messi
saves. Yeah.
penalty. Sure, yeah,
Hmm.
and there were so many misses that they missed, but Real played really badly. I think that is the one thing. And the passing was completely alright.
Yes.
Hmm.
Modric is misplacing passes. Kroos is not passing properly. The guy who has it's like a freaking record, right? That's the one thing you can rest assured, that his pass is going to find its way to
Yeah.
the player it intends to go. The ball should go to. So even he was. So it was like we had forgotten how to pass on that day. So there's nothing you
Hmm.
can do. The rhythm was completely off, and they completely killed us with the pace, and they were good in the midfield on that day as well. So it was a lot of things, and I think the introduction of Neymar was just, I
Yeah.
think that changed the game, to be very honest.
Hmm. Hmm.
That
Hmm.
day,
Hmm.
Neymar was kind of like the catalyst, I would say. And so tomorrow it's going to be a very different game, because I'm hoping we don't go back to that way, because it is
Yeah,
clearly
they
not
won't.
working.
They
But
won't at
at least
Bernabeu. Yeah.
yeah, and also he doesn't have an option. He has to start Valverde. He has to start Camavinga. He does not have Cruz. He does not have Casemiro. We don't have other options,
Unless he
and
starts Cruz.
unless he starts Cruz, yeah, and
Not fit. Yeah.
unless he starts
He
a
did it
not
with
fit.
Benzema. He
He
did
did
it,
it with
did it with
Benzema.
Benzema. Huh.
But the other thing is also, I'm just, that's why I'm very glad that we won without Cruz that last
Yeah.
league game, right? In La Liga
Hmm.
against Sociedad, Cruz didn't play and we won. And that day, Rodrygo played really well. He had a
Hmm.
really good first half, especially, and so did Camavinga. What we will have tomorrow, I'm hoping, is pace, because we will have Valverde, we will have Camavinga, we'll have
Kamavinga. Yeah.
Vinicius, of course, and
Hmm.
Rodrigo. So yeah, so that
So
way I think it's going to be
just
interesting.
like you mentioned, Dhenuka, that the that he got the tactics completely wrong on the first leg, and now it has to obviously change. And I think that it is required. Otherwise, it's really not possible to win it. Even though that you have a lot of experience and good players, but still it gets difficult. And there is that, like I mentioned, the star-studded team PSG. But अगर हम बात करें उस फर्स्ट लेग की ही, तो बहुत सारे चांसेस मिले थे. यस, दे वर नॉट एबल टू कन्वर्ट. देयर इज नेमार, देयर इज एम्बापे, देयर इज मेसी, देयर इज डी मरिया. अटैकिंग में बहुत अच्छे प्लेयर्स हैं उनके पास, लेकिन स्टिल it took like 90th minute for them to get a goal against a very bad Real Madrid. So what do you think, Z? मतलब, what is the problem with them? Why aren't they able to get goals easily? Why is it such a difficult win for them? जो उनको गेम किल बहुत पहले कर देना चाहिए था. Why it took them like 90 minutes to do that against Real Madrid?
They could have scored earlier as well. Like Dhenuka was talking, that they had chances and they missed the chances. They could have scored
Hmm.
earlier as well, and that is because of their bad miss. But let's just not say that Madrid played a poor game. Let's just say that they defended really well. Right? If you look at the game through a different perspective, obviously, yes, they had a bad game because you are looking at Real Madrid. They don't play like that.
Hmm.
But when you look at the
Hmm.
team, tactically understanding what Carlo is going to do, because Carlo post match mein kehta hai ki this wasn't his approach. They weren't able to play
Hmm.
their game. But when you look at them failing to do what they had to do and doing what they were supposed to do, because PSG were attacking so much, they did a fantastic
Hmm.
job that day. Holding on to such an attacking team, which you really mentioned now, ki yeah, all of these players are there, right? But
Hmm.
these
Hmm.
players are there, but star players don't make a team star. Like great players don't make a team great. Average player will make team great if they play together, like right? Because you
Hmm.
look at take any team for example. Samne hai City का example here. Yeah, obviously they have world class players now, but they play with that cohesion. वही है ना
Hmm.
आप उस मैच का ठीक है दिनुका ने काफी अच्छे से उस मैच के बारे में बता दिया won't talk about that. I would talk about why they are missing that connection as well. We have seen them play. I have seen all of their games this season. People say कि लीग वन में वो खराब खेलते हैं, चैंपियंस लीग वो अच्छा खेलते हैं. This is the perspective that people have said. Let's break
Hmm.
it. That's bullshit. It's not like that. They have played in UCL also very very poorly, because there was just one of two games जहाँ पे they had played a good game, Club Brugge against the second leg, जहाँ पे they won 4-0 because they were dominant and they had a dominant score line. But when you look at that game, वहां पे भी आपको ना दिक्कतें दिख जाती हैं. I didn't talk about that game because 4-0 हो गया तो खत्म ही है. But then again, I saw problems in that game as well. Now you look at the game against RB Leipzig that they won. They took two penalties to score and win that game
Hmm.
against RB Leipzig again, against City in the next game जहाँ पे उन्होंने हारा, against Real Madrid. They had a great game, but they didn't finish their chances. Yes, but they would be very frustrated. Talking about the connection of these people, I feel कि Messi and Mbappe का better connection है at PSG than Messi and Neymar. And Neymar recently is just trying everything कि वो सब कुछ कर दे, खुद से कर दे. He's
Hmm.
going on dribbles on after dribbles. I mean, पता नहीं क्या सोचता है वो. It doesn't really work like that. You have to pass when there's a player right beside you. You have to pass. You have to link up the play. And there, I want to ask
Hmm.
Pochettino कि भाई तुम देख रहे हो what is happening on the pitch? I could not believe in the last game जब they were playing against, I forgot यार किसके against उनका last game था.
Nice.
Yeah, sorry,
Nice.
Nice, हाँ. Christopher Galtier की team. By the way, they lost that game 1-0. And I was
Hmm.
looking at Pochettino. He was there standing still. 89th minute तक Gini Wijnaldum was there on the pitch. I do not understand what the hell he is looking at Gini Wijnaldum. Gini Wijnaldum के total 7 touches थे in the first half. Second half में he hadn't got a touch until the 58th minute.
Hmm.
So he was really poor. Varati is the main man. Varati is my man, the most threatening player on
Hmm.
the pitch of PSG. And अब तक हमने इतने देर
Sure.
बात करी PSG की. I haven't spoken about Leo Messi because I don't know what that
Hmm.
guy. He seems lost. He seems like a tad lower than what he's supposed to perform, but he
Hmm.
does perform. He does play. The people who are not start merchant, who don't go on and just look at the scoreline. अच्छा ठीक है, okay, Mbappe scored. Okay, मतलब Messi is finished. I'm not talking to them. But when you look at the game, when you see the game of Lionel Messi, excluding the last game, and last game is only the second time in history in Lionel Messi's playing career where he has failed to had a shot. That's only the second time. And last time जब था वो था 2007 में against I don't remember. But yeah, so you saw कि he wasn't up to the mark in that game. But then count the number of games that he has played. He has been very good. He is the key who is the one player who is making those forward passes, driving the pitch, making those
Hmm.
runners. उसकी वजह से Kylian is finding so many opportunities to score. If you take out Lionel Messi, who is the guy who will be making those forward passes? So again, considering Kylian Mbappe would be out, we still haven't got the official confirmation, but given that reports are very
Hmm.
strong, Kylian is out, Messi has to step up. And of course, he's playing at the Bernabeu, so he might have to just step up and score a few goals. That's what we love to see.
Imagine if that is something like he has played there so many times and got the goal. So if something like that happens, I think Barcelona fans are going to be really really happy with that क्योंकि एक तो मेसी कर रहा है anyway, तो ऊपर से बर्नबाउ में हो रहा है तो that'll be quite fun. My next question to you is Dhenuka, like you mentioned about Rodrygo and him having a good game over Marco Asensio, but if you could pick one out of these both for the match, for tomorrow's match, who would it be?
I would still pick Rodrigo, and for two reasons. One, because Asensio has historically like been a very good super sub. So when he comes on as a sub, he
Hmm.
does much better. He has that extra josh, and he wants to give it all. Uh, because okay, now with Mbappe out, I don't. But still, I think because they're a very pacey team, so you have to kill
Hmm.
that pace with pace. You need players who can. Run, and with Asensio he sort of breaks that rhythm because he's not that kind of player, I think so. So I would more importantly want Valverde to start no matter what, so because
Hmm.
he's the one who gives supports the right back. So Carvajal would have had a much easier time
Hmm.
last in the last outing had we started Valverde, because then he sort of brings in that the whole thing with Carvajal getting completely hammered because of Mbappe would not
Hmm.
have happened. Uh,
Hmm.
Sorry, Z, you want to say something? Sorry,
नहीं
sorry.
नहीं नहीं, I'm just agreeing to you actually saying the
Oh,
बहुत बहुत ही correct perfect thing. So I'm just agreeing to that.
sorry. I thought you raised your hand. You wanted to
नहीं नहीं
say
नहीं
something.
I do things like that. Please don't mind me. You just
नहीं
continue. बहुत बहुत
नहीं
सही बात कर रहे थे आप. नहीं हाँ ठीक है,
नहीं
sorry.
नहीं.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I think so. Given all that, I would still
Hmm.
think start Rodrigo, and And here's the other thing with Carlo, just substitute players, change players. You have that option available. That is the constant dar, that he starts
Yeah.
someone, he's going to bring substitutes in like 87th minute. Someone is still waiting to get on the pitch. And what is that person? Hazard is on the, he's like warmed up, God knows when. And then 80th minute, where he's like, now go, like do something. What is he going to do in 10 minutes? And when he's not played almost all of the season, right? So,
Yeah.
so I just hope he substitutes people when he sees things are not going the right way, and he tends to have that blind spot when it comes to Asensio, which is another reason why I want Rodrigo to start, because his love for Asensio might spur him on to bring Asensio later. But if Asensio starts and it's not working, I don't think Rodrigo is coming on.
Yeah, let's say कि ये सारी चीजें आपने बताई, that is true, but what the hell about Hazard, Ceballos, and Isco? Will they ever get a start? Do they have a chance to at least come on and
Start
play?
though.
नहीं, play at least play. Who do you pick? Let's say कि चलो game चल रहा है PSG का and still 0-0, and you want to make some changes, and you have got bench पे Hazard, you've got Bale, you've got Ceballos, and you've got Isco. Who would you play?
We have Ceballos, Azar. Who else? Isco and
Uh, Isco and Bale.
Bale. Okay. I would want to see Hazard. To be honest, I would want to see Hazard, because
Okay.
I think all of the whole Bernabeu also was so happy when he finally scored that goal, because it's a very different situation from Bale's, which has been, I don't know how to explain it. It's been a very different thing, although they've both been injured for donkey's years
Yeah.
now, and haven't really played. But with Hazard, at least you can say that he genuinely didn't get those chances, and he's what are you doing with this star-studded bench? Isco, I would not want, because again the whole play changes when he comes on.
Yeah,
He
obviously.
Then you have to like sort of change your play, work around
Yeah,
Isco, and
system
then the
change
whole
होएगा. Yeah.
system change हो
So
जाता है,
so
and then
is it up for Isco and Hazard at Real Madrid? मतलब the final nail in the coffin.
Isco for sure. Isco, Bale are both going.
Yeah.
Ceballos was gonna go at the beginning of the season. I don't know what's gonna happen now with Hazard. The thing is, who's gonna buy him? I mean, if
Chelsea would.
Chelsea
Chelsea
won't.
might,
Chelsea
but
won't.
given like the status that he enjoys there, and he's a club legend and whatnot. But to be very honest, I don't know. Like, unless it's like this big sentimental thing, and it's like a Ronaldo kind of a homecoming situation. I find it very. I don't know
Even
if
Bale
Chelsea is
had the
gonna.
homecoming situation with Tottenham. Even Bale had
Yeah.
that.
He played really
Let's
good
see
in the
if he
starting
can.
few games.
No, so with Bale, at least his contract is up, right? With Bale
Yeah,
and
he'll be
Isco, they're
leaving. Yeah.
yeah. So their contracts are up. They'll be free agents. So this is where when people complain about rotation. So there are these two group schools of thought. I'm going on a different topic, but but I think that there are these two schools of thought, right? One that says that Carlo was right because the lead that we have in La Liga is because he did not rotate. But I would also like to be differ and say that you don't have to rotate, like don't change the formation in every game, because you need to provide stability. But in cups like Super Copa or Copa del Rey, when you have the chance, give the others an opportunity. You can rest them there. You can. Super Copa was an excellent example when the Brazilian, the players in our team went to play for Brazil. They've come back after like this exhausting flight after playing minutes, especially Vinny, and you start all three of them in that. There was no
Yeah.
need to do that. It was, I don't want to say like a pointless match, but you know what I mean. Like it's not La Liga, or it's
Yeah.
not, it's
नहीं,
not the
that's
Champions
what
League.
English clubs do. English clubs take these
Correct.
cup games like that only. वो अपने French players को वहाँ पे खिलाते हैं, मिनट देते हैं. Look at Liverpool only again, Nitika.
Yeah, exactly. And that compare and contrast के लिए ना मैंने वही बोला था
Hmm.
दूसरे केस में कि the very difference, right? Like Klopp actually starts, he does not start Allison, and he is given. So now
Yeah.
tomorrow when you need a backup, you can actually bank on that person. मैं कहाँ अभी it's not even fair to Ceballos or Hazard to say that चलो भाई
Go
इसको,
out and
and
deliver.
yeah, you can't do that.
No, I
And
absolutely agree with this rotation point, because even I used to feel that हमारा एक strongest 11 है लिवरपूल का when you talk about it. अगर मैं पिछले 2-3 महीने की बात करती हूँ, तो अगर वो strongest 11 उसी mindset से खेल रहे then we are unbeatable. लेकिन अगर एक आधा इंजर्ड हो गया ना, एंड देन यू ब्रिंग समबडी एल्स, देन इट गेट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट, क्योंकि क्या है ना, बेंच और प्लेइंग 11 जो हमारे स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट प्लेइंग 11 है, उसमें बहुत डिफरेंस लगता था क्वालिटी वाइज। तो वो
Correct.
लगते थे कि वो बेंच से आए, एंड दे आर नॉट गोइंग टू स्टार्ट, दे आर नॉट द रेगुलर स्टार्टर्स, व्हिच इज व्हाई नाउ दैट देयर इज रोटेशन, आई कैन एक्चुअली सी, हाँ, सिमिकस भी खेल सकते हैं, रॉबर्टसन भी खेल सकते हैं लेफ्ट
Yeah,
बैक। तो मुझे वो चीज़ अच्छा लगता है कि हाँ, अगर मैं कैलहर मेरे को शुरू करना पड़ जाए किसी दिन, एलिसन को भगवान ना करे कुछ हो, बट अगर एलिसन को कुछ होता है तो आई कैन सी कैलहर स्टार्टिंग फॉर अस एंड सेविंग अस, बिकॉज ही हैज बीन दैट गुड,
yeah,
सो आई
yeah,
थिंक रोटेशन
exactly.
इज नेसेसरी।
Yeah, and
या गो
especially
ऑन।
when most of the teams don't have the kind of bench strength that they used to have, right? So you have to do this. You
हम्म
don't have. एक जमाने में था Real Madrid. I think Chelsea is one team that has like a very strong bench, but Real Madrid doesn't have
Hmm.
that great a bench. Technically speaking, we have big names, but
हम्म
they're all injury plagued, and they've not. And on top of that, you're not playing them when they are fit
हम्म।
even.
That also brings me to the midfield of PSG. So, Z, very quickly, if you can tell that, what is the midfield that you expect from PSG?
Yeah, if everyone was free, I would have Leandro Paredes, I would have Verratti, and I would have
Genie.
nah, no, please no. Nah. I liked him. मुझे अच्छा लगता था player वो. I used to like him. I wanted him to come to Barcelona, but then he cheated on us. So I would rather have maybe Danilo Pereira. थोड़ा सा I'm looking
Hmm.
at strength and vigor and disruption of play in
Hmm.
midfield. Idrissa Gana Gay can also do that, but Gay थोड़ा ball लेके run करना चाहता है. Danilo is that standing
Hmm.
tree over there like a block. He's there, intercepts things and all. He pops up sometimes, tries to score the goal as well. So yeah, I would say just because Paredes is not available, this is what they are going
Hmm.
to do. Verratti खेलेगा. He is
Oh, he's
a
out
must.
for sure. I didn't know that.
Uh,
Redis is
Paredes.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, I think yeah, Pardesh is out.
नहीं,
I
उसका भी
cannot
आई
say
थिंक
that
इट्स
again
मे बी ना फॉर
100%.
हिम।
Okay.
आई
Yeah,
आई
again
थॉट
I
इट्स अ
can't
मे
say.
बी फॉर हिम, या।
Yeah, I don't know कि when this video is gonna release, उस point of time तक Pardesh ऐसे ऐसे चमक करके आ जाएगा and people will
दो
like
ही
अरे
तो
क्या?
दिन है.
I think they will go with
Yeah, you
Verratti
never know.
in that position along with Danilo, and I hope to see Idrissa Gana Gueye play in there, not
Hmm.
Ginny. No, I think Gueye. Yeah, this is going to be my
Hmm.
mid.
So, also, if you can tell me, Z, what is that one thing that Barca that तुमको देख के बारसा क्या याद आता है, क्या करूँ तो, what is that one thing that Real Madrid can exploit for
मेरा
PSG?
आज तो बारसा की जर्सी भी नहीं पहनी है बट चलो ठीक है मैं मेरे मेरे प्रेजेंस से मतलब बारसा वाली वाइब्स आती क्या बात है नाइस मेक्स मी फील गुड प्लीज कैन यू रिपीट द क्वेश्चन
All right. So,
बारसा
what
पे
is that
रुक गया
one thing?
सब कुछ.
So,
आजकल
what
मैं
is that
बहुत खुश
one
हूँ
thing that
आई डोंट रियली केयर अबाउट एनीथिंग आजकल मैं खुश हूँ बारसा इज डूइंग वेरी गुड आफ्टर अ लॉन्ग टाइम
अच्छे दिन
खुश.
अच्छे
फाइनली
दिन
आ
अच्छे दिन
गए
आ
हैं
गए.
बारसा के।
यस यस हाँ क्या
So the question was, what is that one thing that Real Madrid can exploit PSG का? Just one thing that you think कि उस
या
पे PSG will have to work on.
Okay, so one thing that PSG, Madrid can exploit of PSG, there are plenty of things by the way, but if I have to point out, the first thing is that overconfidence, PSG ka, they can exploit that, and
Hmm.
they lose a lot of balls. They are very depleted in the midfield, and
Hmm.
they could crowd out Lionel Messi, and if you cut out the track of Lionel Messi, which they will be doing, Madrid kar legi because they have hard-working midfielders, and particularly the midfield of Real Madrid. Even with Cruz out, still the midfield of Real Madrid, I would say, is better than PSG
Hmm.
because PSG pe alone is there's one guy playing, and that is Marco Verratti. Baki यहाँ पे still
Hmm.
they've got Fede Valverde. I would rate him higher than Kamavinga because I love the work rate of that guy. मेरे हिसाब से उस बंदे को और ज़्यादा start करना चाहिए था.
Absolutely.
So yeah, those are the things यहाँ पे exploit कर सकती है Real Madrid. Also, just because I've seen PSG throw a lot of numbers forward, Hakimi, Nuno Mendes, and that's the reason why I would agree कि we can use Rodrygo on the right to exploit the wings, and वहाँ से they can counter. And PSG are very very poor when an opponent team just breaks on them. Just takes the
Hmm.
ball in the midfield and just break counter करना. PSG crumble कर
Hmm.
जाती है. They're not very solid defensively. So yeah.
All right. So the same question to you, Dhenuka. What is that one thing that PSG can exploit of Real Madrid?
Nitika, just before Dhenuka answers this, I just have to take a rain check now because I do have two
Yeah,
people
you have to go
waiting.
for the
So
live.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm so
you go.
sorry
It's
for
okay.
that.
We'll.
Yeah,
No, no,
but
that
बहुत
is
मुझे मजा आया. I
absolutely fine.
really
I
want
know that
to.
you had to go.
Yeah, I really want to hear what Dhenuka has to say about this, but I'll watch it when the video will be live. So thank you
All
so much
right.
for having me.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay. Bye. Have fun.
yeah, thank you so
Bye.
much. Bye bye bye. Take care.
Yeah. So, Dhenuka, what is that one thing that PSG can exploit?
Yeah, so I think again they have pace, right? They always kill us with the pace. This is what I always say, because when you have, if you have that aging midfield, and to be very honest, Kamavinga had an amazing game last match, but he's still very raw. He's still very fresh. So
Hmm.
considering that we don't have a Casemiro, we don't have Casemiro tomorrow. We don't have Mendy, and Mendy when he
Hmm.
has an amazing game brings a lot. And
Hmm.
like I said, Mendy gives Alaba and Militao the kind of freedom, Alaba especially, that kind of freedom to sort
Hmm.
of roam around and create chances and sort of get more involved in the
Hmm.
game. He allows him to be the centre back that he is. So
Hmm.
that is going to be a huge thing. The loss of Mendy, right? So they can, because whom do we play on the left? Do we shift? Do we play Alaba on the left, and then we change up our? We have Nacho starting, so the formation is going to change depending on that, and that
Hmm.
sort of stable defense that we've had. It might, because Nacho again, like his work rate and everything is really good, but you can't have Marcelo starting, and then the other option is because he's just, I love Marcelo. He's one of the like old
Hmm.
guards now, but but yeah, he's just had a really bad couple of seasons, I would say. Last season and this
Hmm.
season, he's it's just deteriorated completely. He's just
Hmm.
deteriorated so much, and it's horrible to see that. But that's not an option. So, whom do we get? Do we get like a Castilla kid to play? That's not an option. So,
Hmm.
it's very limited what we have there, and that is something I think PSG can exploit, especially given their pace, right? Because
Hmm.
which is why again I'm saying that if Valverde doesn't start and give the kind of support that he does, and Asensio starts, and
Hmm.
they can exploit that, because with Asensio it's a very different game altogether. He's excellent with
Yeah.
like striking and finishing and
A
everything,
little
but
defensive duties, that is something I think we don't see from Asensio at all, and that
absolutely
Rodrigo
not.
can provide. Yeah.
No, no.
Yeah.
And he will not carry the ball through. He'll not like make those runs. He'll not progress.
Mhm.
He'll pass the ball back.
So he's
So
perfect as a super sub, so that I understand. He's
exactly
like the Origi of the team. So he's like the Origi, if
right.
I can relate to that. Yeah. So okay, I understand the depth that can be exploited if it comes to it,
Yeah.
if the situation arises. So let's talk about the prediction. So what do you think is going to happen in the match?
I don't know if my heart and my brain can take like a draw over the two legs and then going
Hmm.
into extra time and
Extra
penalties.
time.
Yeah, I don't want that. So let's hope for a 3-1. Depending on I'm assuming Mbappe is playing, okay, because I don't know,
Yeah.
I've just been too burnt with all these things thinking they said Hakimi is not going to play, he played. They said Neymar is not going to play in the first leg, he played,
Mhm.
and I think he made that difference in that first leg.
Hmm.
So I'm assuming that Mbappe at this point is going to play, and let's go for a 3-1 then, because my heart can't take a 2-1 and then going to extra time and then penalties. Uh,
No, and you know what? Even I thought about the prediction, that what would be my prediction, and I went for 3-1 as well. I thought that, you know, हो सकता है Real Madrid definitely यहाँ पे result निकाल पाएगा. Later on, we'll have to see, because there are such good teams now. You know, that is
sure.
the beauty of it. Like you mentioned,
Yeah.
that there are no clear favorites this time. It can be
Yeah.
anybody out there. So that'll be interesting to see. But I just want to go to the segment 3 and play it with you. I know that you are new to this, but let's just, play it and just see if you can
Okay.
come up with anything. So this is a let's meme together. So what we I have here for you is that I'll just show you a picture and you have to relate it to any player or maybe any manager. So whatever the scenario is, you think that it can be related to. So shall we
Okay.
start?
Sure.
All right. So this is your first picture.
Oh, God.
So what do you think that, according to PSG and Real Madrid ka situation ko leke, who's saying this to whom? Maybe Carlo Ancelotti is saying this to. What do you think?
I don't know, to Isco when he doesn't ask him to play. I don't. Uh,
All right,
yeah.
so Carlo Ancelotti is saying this to Isco.
Yeah.
That is the meme, right?
Yeah, I would go with
All
Isco.
right.
I can't think of anyone else in the Real Madrid
Guys,
team.
don't forget to comment below कि तुमको क्या लगता है ये memes किस पे जाने चाहिए और क्या बनना चाहिए. We would love to read what you have to say about it. Let's move on to the second one.
हार के जीतने वाले को बाजीगर कहते हैं.
Real Madrid यार, Real Madrid
I
अगर
know. I
जीतता
was
है
gonna
तो
say that, but I don't wanna. I don't wanna
jinx it.
project the fact that we are going to lose. इसलिए मैं सोच रही थी 1 मिनट के लिए. Uh, I think this would have been perfect for that first leg के
Uh,
लिए जहाँ पे हम हार
hmm.
गए फिर भी हमारे अपने ने स्कोर किया.
Oh,
So
yeah,
it
yeah.
was like I
That,
don't know, like there was this whole thing, right? कि Mbappe ने score किया, so
hmm.
you don't know, or I'm assuming वो next time वो आने वाला है अगले season, तो it will be like चलो he put on an amazing display.
And that
आने
is
तो हमें ही
one
पता है.
thing that every Real Madrid fan wanted कि बस एम्बापे ना स्कोर करे बाकी सब ठीक है बाकी चलेगा and that's what happened.
I would
So
have still
football
I was
good.
like ठीक है Mbappe score करे तो ठीक है लेकिन मेसी नहीं score करे.
Oh. अरे यार फिर तो बर्नबो में देखना पड़ेगा क्या होने वाला है because Messi has played at that ground many times so it'll
Yeah,
be
like
interesting one.
that save when Courtois did that save, right? It was like, oh
Yeah,
my god. Yeah, it was crazy.
absolutely. Let's move on to the third one.
Sure.
हर टीम में सिर्फ एक ही गुंडा हो सकता है और इस टीम का गुंडा मैं हूँ. So what do you
Alaba.
think कि कौन है? एल्बा.
This is Alaba.
अगर रामोस
Because
होता अभी रियल मैड्रिड से डेफिनिटली रामोस के लिए जाना था.
वो सभी नहीं है ना तो वही हमारा एक
Yeah.
सीबी नहीं दूसरा सीबी सही. नहीं ये
Yeah.
because Alaba has that same sort of similar quality. He's
Hmm.
very sort of like I always keep saying, like he has like this what is it called? I don't want to say violent love, but it's like when someone scores, you don't know whether Alaba is like taking his head off with his love, or if it's like this passionate thing that you've scored. So he's a
Hmm.
born leader. You can see that Alaba, and
Hmm.
he's gelled with the team, and you can see
Hmm.
like the Madridismo in him, and he's like a proper, and he's like a proper gunda, but he's the gunda
Hmm.
your team needs,
Needs,
because we
yeah.
don't have Casemiro also
Absolutely.
playing.
If you
So
don't have a Ramos in your team, and that is like you need a replacement for that figure, that was a
yeah,
huge figure
exactly,
that you lost, I feel. So
absolutely.
yeah, David Alaba is doing that. So that's great. Let's move on to the fourth one. How's the Josh? So who's going to do this before the match? Which manager has that thing to you rile up
This
their
is
crowd?
Carlo for sure. This is Carlo for sure, coming off of the 4-1 victory.
Hmm.
So
All right. Let's move on to the last one.
this is Carlo because he refuses to change tactics even when necessary. He sticks to his old parampara pratishta Anushasan and does not sub people.
All right, so Carlo Ancelotti wins this one. I think सबसे ज़्यादा memes उस पे बने हैं. So thank you so much for tuning in. I know
Oh,
मैंने
this was
जितना
so
time
much
बोला था
fun.
उससे काफ़ी time लिया. This was really good to have you and so much fun to talk football to another fan, another Real Madrid fan. I don't want to say another woman here because anybody can follow the game and that's the
Yeah,
beauty
sure.
of it. So it was
Absolutely.
really good to have you here. And guys, please comment below and let me know if you
Likewise.
want Dhenuka more on the channel. I would love that. I would love to have her on the channel more because I love the energy that she brought with
Wow.
her on the channel. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please like, subscribe, share, hit that bell icon so you never miss a video from me. Thank you so much for watching. Namaste.
Thanks. Thanks so much.